guys, what's going on? Okay, a little bit of a different video today. Now, this is going to be my full-scale Halloween Kills review that is including spoilers. So I'm warning you ahead of time that there's going to be a bunch of spoilers in this review. So if you haven't seen Kills yet and you don't want anything spoiled, definitely don't watch this now. Come back and watch it after you've seen it. This is the second one, full Kills review that I'm uploading, or trying to. I put one together already that had over a half-hour worth of footage that I was chopping down. I broke it up into about 16 little videos, spent probably 5+ hours editing it all, had it ready to upload, and I was short on space, so I started deleting videos. Long story short, I lost everything. So this review would have been out probably a day and a half ago, but oh well. I mean, I gotta reshoot it, so it's kind of a bummer, but anyway, let's get into it. All right, so first thing I wanted to get into was the flashback scenes. So I don't know what you guys thought. I was personally really impressed with them. Like, at first, I figured they could really screw that up, you know? I mean, you're messing with masterpiece stuff going to 78 with anything, but I was impressed. I thought they did a really good job. The camera work and the way, you know, I don't want to say grainy, but the footage seemed similar, you know? It was believable, you know? And I thought Hawkins' backstory was super interesting. I wasn't expecting that at all. I still don't know how important it is yet. I think he's clearly going to play a much bigger role in Halloween Ends, that he's survived and he's had all this interaction with Laurie about their past, you know, and, you know, revealed this story about shooting his partner basically in the neck while he was being attacked by Michael Myers, and he died. And of course we never heard about that, which is a little strange, but not really that hard to put in there. I thought they did a pretty good job. And James looked great as the 78 Myers there. In that tussle scene, like, man, you could just feel how violent it was in the theater. I remember being shocked at how rough it just felt, you know? Like, it felt fighting for your life rough. Like, they did a great job. David Gordon Green nailed that, man. I thought he did excellent. I thought his mask looked really good, too. You know, especially that profile. That looks pretty good there. And yeah, definitely an interesting story. Apparently Hawkins is a very bad shot. And maybe Loomis was too. And Marion. Well, I guess we don't know for sure. He could have hit him, but from what we saw, he didn't hit him. But I'm sure he could have hit him, and likely nothing would have happened, as we found out in Kills. The Dr. Loomis, I don't know what you guys thought of him. I thought he looked pretty good. Like, it was believable as Loomis. It was definitely a little bit off, and I mean, how are you going to get it right, especially for big Donald Pleasence fans like myself and many, many others out there. But I thought they did a pretty good job. I'm still a little bit surprised they didn't try to recruit that guy. I don't know if you guys have all seen this, but I'll show you the picture. So this guy here, as you can see, is pretty much a dead ringer for Donald Pleasence. I mean, he looks so much like him, it's crazy. The story goes, this picture, I guess whoever took it got a picture of him at like a barber shop or something like that. And there was a rumor that he had talked to somebody about you know, getting involved in a Halloween film of some kind, but it was only a rumor. I never heard anything to substantiate it, but it always made me wonder, and I thought he would have made an awesome Loomis, so that would have been cool. Don't know how familiar you are with him, but I always got a bit of a chuckle when I saw him, because I was like, wow, it's a Donald Pleasence twin. Yeah, and as for the characters and stuff, like I said, James as Michael Myers, man, does he do a good job. I thought his movements were fantastic. I mean, they were great. He is moving exactly how I want to see Michael Myers move. And I mean, I am a little critical of a lot of the films. I'm actually doing a Halloween ranking video as well that I've been looking forward to doing for a very long time, that I've been putting off until I saw Kills and I could get them all in a row, kind of how I would put them. And yeah, James, he's high up, I would say, in in terms of actors that have portrayed Michael Myers. I think he does a fantastic job. Great job with the 78 stuff, amazing, and all the new kill stuff. Yeah, he was scary. He did a great job. Anthony Michael Hall. I mean, how do you not love this dude? I've always loved this guy. You know, he was in so many awesome 80s films, and like lots of other stuff since. But I thought he was great. He was a really good leader. You know, I felt he had brought some of that, kind of that Edward Scissorhands intensity with him. Only, of course, you know, he was kind of an asshole in that movie, and this is totally different. He's a nice guy in this, and he definitely has good intentions. But he was really good at rallying the troops, so to speak. Except, of course, when you get into stuff like Evil Dies Tonight. Yeah, that was, it's safe to say, I think Evil Dies Tonight was used probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times too many. It's pretty crazy. I think I would have been okay with it after maybe 2 or 3. I felt it was definitely overly used and a little comical when he's in the hospital and, you know, Evil Dies Tonight. But I get it. You know, he's trying to rally, unite them to try to catch the guy that they think is Michael Myers, which I don't know how many of you noticed. That was clearly kind of a tip your hat at Halloween 4. You might remember the mob that was assembled when there just wasn't enough cops to get the job done, or they were murdered already. But they ended up shooting an innocent man, and, you know, the same sort of thing happened, which was really sad. That was a bummer that happened, but I'm glad they put it in there because it gave the film a lot more layers, a lot more depth, you know. So there were a lot of references too, like to some of the other movies, like when Judy Greer does the pitchfork stabbing, you know. Is that a little tip your hat at Halloween 5, as we had that nice pitchfork job there. There's a lot of things like that, you know. There was some stuff I saw from 6, and there was more from 4, like for instance Cameron, when Cameron bites it, he's basically well, he's on the staircase, he's got a gun, he misses Myers or can't get the shot off in time, kind of like the shotgun deflection in part 4, and then he has a tussle hand to hand with Brady, and Rachel's watching, you know, screaming for him basically, just like Allison is watching Cameron helpless at the bottom of the stairs, and Myers is taking care of business. So as for spoilers, by the way, I think the conversation began with him complaining how woke it was. And I mean, you know, everybody says that nowadays. Everything is so woke. Everything is so... I didn't find that with Halloween Kills. I didn't find it overly anyway. It wasn't something that I noticed and was annoyed by or something. I had no problem with it at all. But this guy was complaining it was too woke, you know. Of course, there's 2 gay guys living in Michael Myers' house, and oh, it's so dumb. And I don't know what his problem was. I guess the guy was basically just an asshole. But really, that was his problem, is he was complaining how woke it was, and he just started rambling off all these people that were killed, and it was all so fast, you know, with Karen and Tommy and the mob and all this stuff, and I don't know, it was one of those things that when I read it, I just thought immediately, holy shit, that is exactly what happens. Like, you know how you can read something and you go, I don't know about that. There was something so specific about this that just made me go, holy shit, I think this is going to happen. And unfortunately, that is exactly what happened. So each and every spoiler that I heard early on, basically all from that one guy, really, they were all true. So that definitely affected a lot of things. So I was expecting Karen to die at any moment. So that was definitely something on my mind. And knowing that Tommy was going to die too, I wasn't sure when this was going to happen, but you could sort of see when it was going to go down. And of course, him taking out the entire angry mob of people. So what that did is, even for when the trailer came out, it screwed things up, because they gave us that head fake with killing Allison, you know, when she plugged Nike there. Just do it. Yeah, right there, because I knew Karen was going to die. I really doubted anything was going to happen to Allison. Or he probably would have said that right in there, but I was just thinking, if Karen's going to die, I doubt they're going to kill Allison off. I mean, she's the youth. She had that good relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, her grandmother, Grandma Lori. So, yeah, I didn't think they were going to get rid of her. So when I saw that, I thought, no, there's got to be something that happens, because it was too obvious. I mean, even if I didn't have any spoiler leaks, it was too obvious, right? And then they made the mistake of putting Cameron up there and doing the same thing. It's like, oh, Cameron has a really close encounter with Myers too. Does he survive? And I'm like, why'd you do that? Because as soon as they did that, I knew, of course, Cameron is going to bite it. I was 99% sure that he was going to bite it. And how about his death? How brutal was that, right? So he gets stabbed, pulls a knife out, and we're thinking, okay, he's not gone yet. This isn't bad. But Myers stays on him and starts brutalizing him, right? Kind of like Mr. Brady from Halloween 4, like I mentioned. That was quite the reference there. And Brady basically got his head crushed, or face crushed, and Cameron got his face pretty smashed through the railing. And then they still have you hang on. He's sitting there, and you're like, okay, he's still alive, but is he going to be, like brutally handicapped the rest of his life? Because he doesn't look like he's moving. He's just moaning. It was just really bad. And then, of course, Myers coming down the stairs, and Allison basically screaming for him to leave Cameron alone. And then he just turns and looks at him, and right then and there, I'm sure everybody knew he's going to grab his head and probably just snap his neck, right? And sure enough, grab, big twist. So that was pretty brutal. He was brutal in this. And like when the angry mob of people were attacking him, when he got trapped at the end there, that was another thing, because I knew he was going to be able to defeat them, or something was going to happen there. So I see this brutal beatdown, and had I not known about that spoiler, I would have thought, wow, he's probably going to get incarcerated here. They're gonna take him in. He's going to get a beatdown, and he's going to be locked up for 4 years, and something's going to happen after that, and he's going to get out. That's how ends will work, right? No, not at all. Because of the spoiler, unfortunately, I knew that he was probably going to get up and kick ass, and he did. Holy shit, did he ever, That was brutal. But he took all that beating and just kept coming, took all those shots. He was sprayed clearly in the chest and shoulders and everything. It's crazy. So it's a neat direction they went with him. Like, I had no idea what they were really going to do, and now they've definitely pushed it into a supernatural side, which I honestly prefer, because I've always said a slightly more supernatural Myers is way scarier than when you humanize him. Like I said that about Rob Zombie's, Halloween. Michael was too humanized, he was just, you could relate, you could try to understand, and it just wasn't good, and everybody's like, oh, he's a great big intimidating Myers, but to me that's not scary, because what are you going to do? You're going to stay away from him, and you're going to call the cops, hope they do their job. And when you have a supernatural Myers that gets shot and can't get stopped, you start getting really panicky, because what are the cops going to do? It's disturbing. And that he's not a gigantic beast of a man either. Like, it's scarier that way. I really appreciated the suspense, bringing the suspense back into it. I thought was a huge boost into making this film so good for me. It was really layered with the accidental killing of the innocent patient. Some of the other performances were really good. Like, Judy Greer was really good in this. I thought she was fantastic. So I was kind of sad to see her go. I know in the first film, her character wasn't as likable because she was so anti, and it was a nice improvement in this film. Her character, her acting was great. She did a really good job in this. She should be proud. Andy was really good too. You know, she had her moments early on. There's a few times where she's talking about the deaths and everything, and she seemed a little disconnected. But overall, I thought she did a really good job. Like she was solid at this for sure. And Cameron, of course, Dylan Arnold, he was exceptionally good in this too. Like in the scene where he finds Hawkins, and you know, he's panicky, and it just seems so natural. Like he seemed to me like a really panicked, nervous, scared, drunk kid, right? And I thought he played that really, really well. So he did a fantastic job. Too bad that we all saw his death coming, or well, I certainly did with the spoilers for sure. But yeah, that trailer tease didn't help me at all. So the firefighter thing was a little bit like that, but it was still, wow, what an intense scene. And to see him get out of there and hiding in the gun cabinet, I was thinking, okay, well, that would probably be your best bet against the Flames, I suppose. So it was kind of believable. But still, just, yeah, really fun movie overall. I really, really liked it. Jamie Lee Curtis was good in it too. It was nice to see her getting some decent scene time, even though she spent a lot of time in the hospital. You know, the scene where she's getting out and she's determined to go after him. She catches that guy in the hallway and knees him and clearly rips some staples. That was pretty brutal. And how about that operation scene? Holy man, that was gory. I mean, there was some shots that were just downright like well done operation scene. I don't know how important it was to show all that, but I guess you wanted to know how bad Lori was, so you knew she couldn't just get, you know, 10 or 12 stitches and be done with it. It was a mess. And this whole story with Myers, you know, standing in front of the window, you know, and perhaps he's looking at his reflection. That's kind of what we're led to believe a little, and it's not so much about him stalking Lori at all. So there were some interesting elements that were added there. I thought Robert Longstreet was really good as well as Lonnie Elam. I thought he was a fun character, although there was a lot of poor decision making there with Lonnie and Allison and Cameron going all off on their own. I didn't think that was very believable, considering they were just trying to rally this mob of people. We got to stick together. But just the three of us are going to go over to his house where he's probably going to be, and let's all not go together, and let's not wait for any help. I'm just going to go alone. It's like, really, Lonnie? Really? I think we all know what's going to happen. You know, thumbs up, buddy. So that was a little silly. I didn't think that was a very good idea. And of course, the Cameron and Allison getting lured in after hearing the pop set up their nightmare scenario where they don't stay together. They separate and they break a lot of the rules. They break the horror rules. You can't do that. Amy Kennedy would be yelling at the screen. But yeah, I guess you have to make some bad decisions in a horror movie, or you're not really going to have anything happen, right? So I get that. And again, it's not a perfect movie. You know, it's just I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Oh, and I wanted to mention the guy that played the bartender in that little pub they're in Haddonfield. I guess his name is, well, he goes as Brian the bartender in the movie, and his real name is Brian Mays Sr. So this guy has never acted a day in his life, and I guess he's a bartender or bar manager, owner, something like that, and I think they said Austin. But he's a friend of David Gordon Green, so he gave him that role. But I remember watching it and just hearing his interaction, and just thinking, oh, that guy's a natural. He just seemed like a believable bartender, and there you go. I guess that's why. But I thought that was kind of neat that he has never done anything like that before, and David Gordon Green got him in there, and yeah, he did a great job. So that was pretty cool. I just wanted to mention that guy was good. But yeah, overall, this movie, I thought it was really good. I mean, I am a fan of the 2018 film. I know some people didn't like it as much. I really liked that movie. It was just something that had come out at the time that just, for the first time in forever, I thought since Halloween 4, it was the first time it felt like a proper Halloween movie. I mean, it needed Loomis, sure, but you can't have everything you want, right? I mean, Donald Pleasance, he's long gone. God rest his soul. He's an awesome dude, but they would have been nice to have him in there. But I thought that movie was great. I really enjoyed it a lot. But Kills, man, it's even better. It really is. It's not, like I said, perfect. So it has its flaws, but you're never going to be able to make a perfect film, right? I mean, if everybody's smart and does logical things and it's going to be a movie that not a whole lot is probably going to happen. It's not going to please the masses. But I do love the suspense, and I do appreciate the suspense that was brought in to Kills, because it definitely had some there that was really absent for so long in the franchise. Like when he's going after Lindsay Wallace, like for example, that scene where she has to run off and hide from him, that's really intense. You hear Michael so close and you don't know what's going to happen at all. There was some general suspense moments that I appreciated in this. So overall, when I got out of the theater, I'd say 8.5 out of 10, easy. Even now after seeing it, I've seen it all the way through twice, and I went through it really fast a third time. Still say it's at least an 8 out of 10. It feels like a little more than that. Like I'd give this film 4 out of 5 stars for sure. And maybe even an 8.5 out of 10 for me, which is pretty high. I don't give hardly any movies higher than a 9 max, unless they're flat out masterpieces like the original Halloween. I call that a 10 out of 10 movie, a 5-star movie for me. Um, but yeah, Kills was good, guys. I really appreciate it. So I'm excited to see what they do with Ends. I have no idea how it's going to go. It's interesting to see what they did with Myers, but knowing how powerful he is, there's a supernatural element. Yeah, I'm really curious how they're going to close out the story. So I guess we'll see. We have another year to get to the next one, and I'm sure there'll be lots of other spoilers we'll have to be dodging again. So I guess I'll do my best to avoid them. But what do you do? Like I said, I got all these spoilers thrown at me early on that definitely wrecked a lot of parts. I still really enjoy the movie. But yeah, I would have enjoyed it a little more without getting everything spoiled early on. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of Halloween Kills. I mean, I have seen a lot of people say that they didn't like it as well, and I don't get that, but hey, to each their own. Not everybody likes everything, right? But overall, I was really pleased with it. I thought they did a fantastic job. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. I have some more stuff coming out soon enough here. There was an unboxing video I did of a really cool prop that also got deleted in all of these, in this, clearing of all the space on my phone. So I sort of lost that. So I'll probably do a quick video showing you what it was, but there'll be a few things coming here soon. So in the meantime, thanks a lot for watching, and I guess we'll see you again for the next one, guys. Later.